Well, g'day everybody, and welcome to the Camera Life podcast. This is the Random Photography Show. Lots of big news to cover off in tonight's episode of the Random Photography Show. So stick around if you want to hear our thoughts on the latest GoPro Mission action cams. They've got something special brewing. We're going to cover that and a lot of other things as well tonight, of course. The Camera Life podcast is a live photography podcast, and we come to you live twice a week, every Monday evening, 7:30 p.m., where we talk about industry news. We look at what's going on in the biz, any new product drops, and more importantly, we look at your images. So that's right. You can send in your images to the Camera Life podcast, and we will bring them up during the show, and we'll have a chat about them and let you know what we think. And of course, every Thursday morning, we also go live, not just once, but twice a week. And Thursday mornings, 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, we interview amazing photographers from Australia and abroad to give you insight into what makes other creatives tick. But that's enough of that for now. I'm joined tonight, of course, by the boss, Justin Castles. How are you, Justin?
I'm great. I'm a little tired, but I'm great.
I am too. And do you know when my tiredness really peaked?
When?
As soon as that introduction video stopped. My brain just went, oh.
Really? Because you said a lot of words pretty quick.
I did say a lot of, I don't know if any of them made sense.
You were good to go.
What's that? What do we say? Fake it until you make it.
Yeah, we're doing it. We're really doing it.
How are you? Have you had a good weekend?
Yeah, good weekend. Busy, good. Got a lot done. And then today, straight into a shoot this morning that ended up being a pretty cruisy shoot, but I didn't have my gear as organized as I'd like, and so it was a little hectic in the lead up to the shoot. Always pack your gear the night before. Silly to leave it to the morning. Don't do that.
Yeah, bit of a rookie mistake there from you.
Yeah,
a decade of weddings under your belt.
But it was
Sleeping
fun.
Old man.
I was flying the drone around. That was fun. Just sitting in the sunshine, testing out my little camera. You know, this little fella. The little, what's it called? Insta360 Go Ultra.
Oh yeah.
I was swapping that between the housing and then onto my chest as a POV thing, just testing it. Had a little look at the footage before the show. It's pretty good. I'm happy.
Nice. That's good. Money well spent then.
Money well spent. Oh, the other thing is too, this show tonight, we got maybe an all-time, other than the big Your Images award show, it's like an all-time number of submissions tonight, I think. It's pretty big number.
A quick squeeze. Holy heck.
Yeah.
And people are writing essays to go with their images, it seems.
That's right. Lots of info. Yeah, and almost everyone put their name on their file thing. What's it called? File name. They use their name as the file name. I can't even talk. And that really helped. So that was good. If everyone's sending their photos in, you can send them in to justin@luckystraps.com.au for next week's show and use your name and then whatever you want to call the image as the file name. It's very helpful for me.
Yep. And just a reminder to folks, we're only accepting one image per viewer, plus a behind-the-scenes image if you think it helps and builds context, unless you've worked on like a photo essay of some sort and you've got a handful of images that sort of form a story when they're all together, then that's cool too. Of course, I never follow
of those.
Yeah,
we got a couple of those today for tonight. So there's a couple of little series. Yeah, would you say you never follow the rules?
No, never. No. Well, I had a really busy week last week of photography. I was out almost every day with my camera, and so I took lots of shots.
Well, I haven't downloaded yours yet, so we'll see. You might not get any.
Yeah, I might not get a show ahead.
Get any show.
And speaking of the peeps that send in stuff, shall we say hello to everyone in the chat?
Yeah, there's tons of them in there. Look at this. Philip Johnson, good evening. Dennis Smith, School of Light, says, now I'll have something to do with the 243.5 micro 4/3 lenses I have. Yes, you will. I'll be interested to see what you think. Good evening all. John Pickett, hello.
Hey,
Brett Wooderson, Lisa Leach, Felicity Johnson, David Leporati, David Skinner, Philip Thompson's. I got to get all these names right. Paul's here. Lucinda's here. Grant Fleming's here. What's up, Grant?
Hey, how are you, mate?
Digifrog says, howdy, clan. Nathan CCP. Evening, lads. Good to see you, Nathan.
Hey, Nathan.
Nev Clark says, "Hi all, day's getting shorter in WA now. Perfect timing. It's dark at 5:45. Yeah, it's good timing for the podcast for you." What else? Who else is here? Oh, Tony's here. Tony says, "Not the first time he's made that mistake." No, probably not.
Feels like most of the Bendigo crew are here.
Yeah. Your image was just in time, Dennis. I've downloaded it. It's a cracker. Rick Nelson is here, and Lisa Leach. Oops, didn't know about the new rule on the file. It's not a rule. It's it's assistance. It's not a rule. Yeah. Your image is still in there. I just typed Lisa Leach into the file name. But yeah, it certainly speeds the process up for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us. And don't forget that we also have a live call-in number. Yes, we are, as far as we can tell, the only live photography podcast hosted by two idiots that has a live call-in number.
That's right.
There is another one, but it's not hosted by idiots. So
actually, it's funny. I actually don't know if there is another one at all, and I hope it stays our thing. I hope more people call in. Maybe tonight will be the night. We haven't had a caller for weeks now.
No, we haven't. I think the peeps have forgotten.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you're listening,
no, Glenn Lambert has been away.
Well, that's true. And usually it's Nick Fletcher.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
Yeah. So we've got a big show of news.
Lots of news.
Releases, because it's NAB this week. But I think there's announcements still yet to be made for NAB.
Yeah, I don't really know much about NAB. It's never really been on my radar.
Is that the Vegas one? In Vegas, I think. I don't know.
Is it? I don't know. I don't know much about it. Let me look it up.
But they're releasing stuff in line with that. A lot of the camera brands and, obviously all the people making anamorphic lenses and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Lots going on.
It's in New York. Oh, no, Vegas, Nevada.
Yeah, I thought it was Vegas.
It's still on.
So if you guys in the chat listening live have seen any rumors as well, we're gonna go over the rumor roundup later on in the show. So if you've heard any rumors about new cameras that are coming that we might not have heard, let me know.
Yeah,
because we're trying to uncover what's coming this year, because sort of hasn't been a lot going on. I don't know.
No.
Fujifilm have been quiet.
Yes, but there is a summit coming up soon. Pretty sure.
When's that?
Prague or something. I think it's on the same day as the Fuji event in Melbourne, which is like what, the 5th? Did we say the 5th, the 9th or something?
9th of May. So something's going to happen then.
Yeah.
Anyway, talk about that later.
It is interesting just looking at the website and some of the images that they've used for the NAB show that's happening in Vegas as we speak. And yes, that some of the news articles have come out of this event. It looks far more serious and far more corporate than other sort of like, especially like even compared to what was it, CP Plus in Yokohama every year. It looks far more corporate. People looking for security products that require optics and those sorts of things are on offer here. It's not a photographer's show, so to speak.
No, but there is a lot of standard camera brands and stuff doing the thing there. So it is a photography show as well. But I think you're right. It's much broader than specifically a photography show.
Yeah, I think so. Because a couple of the products that I looked at this morning, one was a Canon. I think it was Canon have released a new camera system for factory security, all this sort of stuff. Yeah. So it's a bit of a mix. But yeah, should we get on to a little bit of news while we're already in that, dipping our toes in that
let's do it.
In that pool?
Let's do it. Where do you want to start?
Top of the hour. Let's have a look. We'll go through the social posts. Every week on a Monday morning, I get up bright and early and I go through social media, any posts that I've saved, any videos that I've saved, specifically for discussing on Monday nights, random photography show. And so, I just I collect things over the week. And once upon a time, I used to just ruthlessly send them to Justin at all hours of the morning and night. But now I collect them. I'm more tempered now. Okay, I've got a handle on it. So
it's better for me.
It is much better for you. Yeah. Yeah, because
All
usually I
right.
send it and then follow up with, "What'd you think? Hey, Justin, what'd you think? Hey, Justin, what'd you think?" Until he responds. I'm not at all annoying. I'm not.
All right. What do we got here? Do you want me to? Do you want sound?
Yeah, it
Start this
wouldn't hurt to
again?
put a bit of sound. So
Right.
I've been coming across this guy a little bit on socials.
Every NFL game used to be shot on physical film. This is Kodak 16mm color negative film, and there's over 100 million feet of it in this warehouse right now. That's enough film to stretch around the entire world, all the way around it. Every NFL game from 1929 to 2014 was shot on film and is in this vault right now. My ties this entire vault of film on state-of-the-art film scanning machines to make sure that your favorite football footage is upgraded to the most crisp, clean, and pristine archival footage that we could possibly have. Follow more to learn about the NFL's film scanning and archival processes.
Wow.
So yeah, Mr. Celluloid's got a pretty, granted monotonous, but pretty exciting gig, having to digitize everything.
Exciting's not a word I would use. It's very cool. I don't know if I would find that job exciting because you're right, monotonous. But it's very cool. And if you have that attention to detail and that archive kind of mindset, yeah, what an amazing project to work on.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Especially
and
for
my
a football
OCD
fan.
is just so in appreciation of the way that all those films are stacked.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I've never seen that before.
But yeah, I've been following him a bit this week, and yeah, he's doing some other film projects as well. Really interesting stuff. But I just thought it was a cool little insight
Yeah, very cool.
because we often forget the way things were.
Film.
Let's talk about Lumix have dropped a new S9. It is a gold titanium edition. It's a special edition. There's also it comes as a bundle with a whole bunch of other accessories, like one of those gold filters, the mist filters that use the gold.
Yeah.
In the kit.
Yeah.
I can't remember what lens it comes with.
That finish does look cool. I was expecting it to be gold, but no, it's a really classy look.
Yeah, it is. It is very nice. And if you jump over to that other post about it, Justin, don't know if
The
it tells you
bundle?
the bundle one.
Hang on. Let me zoom in. Enhance. Ooh.
It's a good looking camera.
Yeah.
I've got to say. It's a very good looking camera. Comes with a nice strap, comes with a lens, comes with a gold mist filter.
Careful about the strap there, buddy.
Yeah. Indeed.
Yeah, interesting. So just a little limited. I like limited edition things. I think there should be more of them.
I think they should. There's only 200 being released in Australia of these.
What do you guys in the chat think? Do you guys like limited color releases and stuff like that? Obviously, Leica do tons of them, but Canon and Sony and they just don't. They don't really do that stuff.
I used to.
Well, Canon used to do a lot of Red Rebels and
the
things
white.
like that.
They
That's
did
true.
a few white ones, the Rebels.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe not in Australia, but other markets got different colors.
It's also really unappealing stuff, like compared to that S9. the Red Rebel's not really the same kind of level. I'd love to see more of that.
Yeah, me too. My only concern with this sort of stuff is that typically scalpers swoop in and buy all of these and then put it back on, secondhand markets or eBay or whatever.
That's more of a Fujifilm issue, isn't it? Do you reckon
think they
people are
have to
doing
do
that on
everything now.
Lumixes? Nah.
Maybe not. But it is a good looking camera. Anyway.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
Good
what
to
else we
see.
got?
And good to see that Australia's included in a limited edition.
Yeah, we do miss out on some of the ones that do come through.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Let's look at that teeny tiny large format camera. So but wait, it gets better. It's not just a prop. Yeah. He even develops them.
Oh, that's
He just,
funny.
just loaded up the paper and now he's going to take the shot and now he's developing it. It's like smaller than a postage stamp.
a tiny large format camera. Who thinks of this stuff?
I don't know, but I think that's really fun.
I guess Pottery Cucumber on Instagram did.
Yeah, clearly. And then since discovering this, because algorithms are the way they are, now I'm just being flooded with tiny everything. People that make these tiny dioramas, like shops, and they put every little tiny tin can on the shelf and they label them and like just crazy stuff. Yeah, it's really cool. It's a great way to spend a Monday, just getting lost in tininess.
I just break everything. I can't. My tiny little fingertips aren't that precise.
Yeah.
I'd be fumbling through it.
Pretty cool though.
Very cool.
Good on them. Micro large format. Hasselblad and Oppo. I've never heard of that brand before, but they've announced a collaboration where they are bringing out a Hasselblad smartphone.
They're a pretty big Oppo's been. Yeah, they're a pretty big company.
I've
in
never
terms
heard
of
them
smartphones, they're kind of in that same Huawei kind of level, I think. Maybe not quite as big as Huawei, but they're certainly up there. Yeah. Right, Hasselblad and Oppo. Whereas, who was the partner with Leica on their phone? Was it Huawei?
No, that was last week, wasn't it?
Leica phone. Lights phone. Xiaomi.
Yeah.
You know that? Yeah. Yep. Xiaomi. So Oppo. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Hasselblad and Oppo.
Yeah. Interesting move.
Yeah, these phone style cameras are definitely, they're going to be a thing.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, we're all pretty much committed to having a phone in our pocket at all times now. You know, so it's a good market to get into when it comes to these sort of collaborations, because eventually everyone buys a phone every couple of years, every 3 years at most, maybe.
And so this Huge A Photo says it perfectly. I'd buy a Blad phone for sure. If there was like the Leica phone, if there was an Apple version of one of these, I would potentially buy it. I would get sucked in. If there was a Leica Apple phone or a Hasselblad Apple phone, or even like a Canon Fujifilm, something like that had far better imaging than the standard one, I'd get sucked into buying it for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I can't leave the Apple ecosystem, I don't think. This is a good point. Rick Nelson says, I feel like the phone market is fighting back with the rise of compact demand again, because everyone, lots of people, including, Yelena's got the OM system, tough camera. People want a point and shoot to take to functions and gatherings and events and things like that, or to photograph their kids so that they're not having their phone in their pocket all the time. And I guess this gives you that feel, but it's still a phone in your pocket.
Yeah. Well, one of our kids here, who's almost 18, turns 18 this year, is in doing year 12. And she wanted a compact camera for her last year. She went on a camp, so we got her a fairly cheap compact. And, we're talking about someone who's on their phone always. But was still keen in trying out a compact camera. And then this year she's asked if we can kind of step up the model and get something a little bit better quality. So it's just, I don't know, maybe it's indicative. People are sort of migrating back to cameras now.
It seems like there's a little bit of that swing. But
maybe it's oversaturation, of having to always be connected.
Yeah, for sure. And also maybe, I wonder if there's a bit of a loss of the novelty of having dedicated devices, like making a purchase for something you're passionate about. And that can't always just be an app software or, something digital you open. People want to go and buy something physical for this passion that they have.
Yeah.
If you can make music, films, photography, all that stuff just on a screen, it kind of takes away the tangible joy of some of those hobbies, I think.
Yep. Yep. I agree.
Yeah, and Lucinda's got a great point here. It's the same as iPods making a small comeback. And,
Yeah.
you know, I was almost tempted on an iPod because I ended up going to back to Apple Music because I just hate Spotify. Spotify is just not a fun interface to use for listening to music for me. I don't know how it's so confusing for me personally.
Yeah.
I love the old iTunes and iPod format, and Apple Music is closest to that. But and then I realized that using an iPod would just be difficult. But it seemed
probably.
cool. It seemed cool for a minute.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, you've got to really plan in advance what you want to listen to.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think you're right. And there must be hundreds of millions of iPods out there somewhere.
They're in drawers. They're just in people's drawers.
Yeah.
They don't
Just
work
ready
anymore.
to be recycled.
Yeah.
All right. Let's have a look at the next social media post. This is the Artemis 2 crew who safely returned back to Earth. We all know the story that they were shooting with a Nikon, was it a D5? They also had a Z9. And there's a post here of them being trained in how to take photos in space, which is bananas to think about. But here it is. I imagine they get training in everything.
Trained to capture space photos. Hey, but they're not even in spacesuits.
Yeah, well, they're not in space now. They're training.
Yeah, okay. So this is actual footage of them, right? NASA photography and video subject matter expert. Wow. I mean, how humans, we're all different, aren't we? We've all got different capabilities in life. And I think we've all got something to offer. But the fact that someone who has spent their entire life training to be an astronaut probably did a short course on photography and is now better at that than me, I don't know. There's some special kind of humans.
Yeah.
Very smarts.
Yeah. Good resolve.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Be like, oh, well, I also just have to know this professional photography thing. Tell me that. How does that work? Give me a couple hour boot camp on it. I should be all right.
Please. Yeah, look, it's interesting, isn't it? And there's still lots of footage coming out and shots coming out from this mission. And didn't we predict last week that the rumored upcoming GoPro camera actually went up on the Artemis on one of the parts of the ship?
Yeah, and they haven't connected that dot yet.
No.
So maybe it wasn't that. Maybe it didn't have enough time to get tested and cleared. You know how they set a D5 up, so maybe they were like, no, we've got a Hero 12 that's been, through all the paces.
Yeah.
That's what's going up or something like that.
Maybe.
Because I thought I really thought it was going to be like, it's called the GoPro Mission.
That's what I thought too. I thought, what a
mission
golden
to
marketing
the moon.
opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Couple more very quick ones. An Aussie takes a world first image of a super rare spider. We were talking only a couple of weeks ago about how spiders are alien, but this one is very alien.
Wow.
Yeah, it captures a world first photo of it, as far as we know.
Crazy.
It is.
I wonder if it bit him.
It's a weird ass spider.
Yeah, it is a weird ass. Look at that.
Oh, look, he's got a Cygnus Tech diffuser. That's cool.
He sure does.
He does indeed.
Wow. That is a creepy looking little spider.
It is. And the last social media post, I just saw some ads this week. For those of you in Melbourne, Walken's Film have a store in, what did I say it was? Brunswick Street, Fitzroy? Brunswick Street, Fitzroy, where you can go and check out all your film needs. Lots of film. They do developing. all sorts of stuff.
I've bought some film off them before.
Have you?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like
Oh, they've just come out with this.
through the post.
Oh,
You know, like online store. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
yep. Anyway, I thought I'd throw that in there.
Hmm.
It's local. If you're in the area, check it out. Tell them Greg sent you. I don't know what that'll do. Won't do anything.
Table-U4Y says Insta360 leaked a new camera with micro four thirds lens like GoPro. They did. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
I don't know if they leaked it or if someone leaked it, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we've got we found that one too, and we will get to that in the rumors section. Let's talk about DJI Osmo Pocket.
First, Huge A Photo says, taking a Nikon, I assume to space, what a waste of space. I mean, they're good cameras. They're good cameras. What do you shoot? You a Canon man? Sony boy? Fuji something? Anything else we need to get through? John Pickett, do they need camera straps in space? Of course they do.
Yeah.
Could to stop it from just floating away.
I know. I could tether it to something.
Opportunity. That's right. What else? Yeah, the Nikons did take some great shots.
Yeah. Yep.
And you are late, firm.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I'm just going through. I was having a play with my new Fuji X half. Oh, nice.
Hey, congratulations. And commiserations.
Yeah, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah. I did see, and I didn't have a chance to verify it, so I didn't include it tonight. It was very last minute before I actually came on the show tonight. I saw a post with someone using Apple Vision Pro to watch the Artemis launch.
Oh.
And they're standing in the field surrounded by all those other cameras that are on tripods. You know how they have that exclusion zone where people can put their cameras in the heat-proof boxes,
yes.
and there's an Apple Vision Pro.
Yes. Now we're talking. And that's the sort of stuff, if there was enough of that, I could be convinced to invest in a pair. I know someone was talking about, that if you could buy the best seats in the house virtually at any, sporting event, concert, things like that, even as a one-off, it costs money, $20 or something like that, as sort of like a, but that ability to, to look around and experience the scene more rather than, that's the opportunity. And I'm sure it'll just take time for all the technology to catch up, but wow. Imagine being able to just see the whole setup, everything to scale, look up at it, and then watch the fire engulf you as it takes off.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, it would.
I think
that's it for socials for now, I think.
I think just on that, I think Blackmagic, someone released a new VR camera system just recently, I think. Was it Blackmagic? But yeah, there is more of that coming.
Yep.
So yeah, I hope it gets to the point where we're seeing some really cool stuff in that space.
Yeah. For sure.
For sure.
Should we talk about DJI Osmo Pocket 4?
We should. I'll bring it up.
All right. So you've got one of these. You've got the 3 though, haven't you?
I've got the 3. And I guess we should talk about this in the sense of, will I want to upgrade my 3 to the 4? Well, the differences are, like, it's the same size sensor, but an updated sensor.
Yeah.
Which they're claiming has more dynamic range, better autofocus, a few other bits and pieces. But it is the same size sensor. And we'll have to wait to see the reviewers come in, but I don't think we're going to see a drastic increase in image quality. There'll be improvements, but I think the improvement from like Osmo 1 to 2 and then the jump to 3, everyone was like, wow, this thing just works great for what it does. It's a really useful little camera with great image quality, super stable, obviously, great mic connectivity, which is one of the other big things. It's just made it really easy. I see on YouTube, athletes and people like that aren't video makers or YouTubers or whatever. They're buying these to be able to do their own vlog footage.
Yeah.
Because 3 or 4 years ago, all those kind of people that they had to pay, every time they wanted to film something, they'd ring their video person.
Yeah.
And their video person would follow them around. Whereas now you'll see the athletes and people like that, musicians, they'll use these to film themselves, around the house or whatever. And then their video person's just meeting them at like events and things like that to kind of get better footage. So these are filling that gap that are really easy to use. And the 4 everyone's been waiting for it, but I don't know how much it's going to convince a lot of people to update. I'm not sure.
Well, and it makes me think, sometimes when a new product like this comes out and it is only incremental, I mean, we've been seeing it in iPhones for years,
Yeah.
There's no longer huge generational leaps. They try to sound like it is, they try to advertise it like it is, but they're fairly minimal in the scheme of things. And, sometimes a product doesn't have to outdo its predecessor. It just has to kind of build on some issues that consumers had with the previous version. And sometimes
that's exactly what this is, I think.
Yeah. This is just a continuation of an already great product.
If it was a Nikon, it would be called the Osmo Pocket 3S or something like that, I think, because it's basically just taking this model and going, all right, we need more tactile buttons because it's a bit of a pain in the ass to change some of the settings, and they've done that. You need to be able to close the gimbal with the ND filter still on it, so it can protect the little lens. Now it can do that. Improve autofocus. It's definitely it has more resolution. The photos were never great. Like the 3 was 9 megapixel photos, and the Osmo Pocket 4 is 37 megapixel photos. So it might be useful now for photography. I still don't think it's a very easy camera to use for still photos, but not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll wait for the reviews, but it's a handy to be able to take a photo with it. But I never used it. I've never used it for that. Dennis says, do not go down the bullshit YouTube shillfest that is the Pocket 4 review videos. Brochure reading douchebags. What do you really think, Dennis?
Yeah.
It is hard to find unbiased and detailed reviews of equipment, especially like this, because these aren't really available in the US. So
no, and they may not be.
Yeah, a lot of the review sources that you might be used to, I don't know if they'll get them. I don't know how that'll work. But I think obviously if you are looking at buying one of these cameras, this is the one to get for sure. But if you've got a 3, I just don't know whether you would need to update unless, if you're using this every day to vlog, then maybe. But if it's just something that you've got in the bag for the odd time that it's useful, like I do, I think I'll stick with mine.
So would the Osmo Pocket 4 be good for, people who are traveling, if anyone's still traveling out there these days, but people who travel, just wanting to get some quick video footage. They're not so keen about the photography, but they like the idea of vlogging just for their own sake. This would be a good tool for that, yeah?
It definitely is. But what I'd say is if you're that person and you want to get one of these, go for it. But if you've got an iPhone 15 Pro or newer, use that, make a few videos. Because when we were doing some travel videos and stuff like that, we use this a ton, and the mic connection is great, but there's a lot of mic options for your phones now as well that pair up really easily with a phone. And I was going back and forth between footage from my iPhone and the Osmo Pocket 3, depending on, sometimes it was just easier to use the phone. So, if you were looking at buying something to start making some videos, but you've got an iPhone 15, just start with that. Yeah, and then you'll know that where this beats the phone out is definitely at nighttime. It is more stable to walk around with, but I don't know. It's not. Yeah, it's not a big deal. It's really this is the prime use case.
Yeah. Vlogging.
Travel
Yep.
vlogging.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. What did Dennis say?
The
Dennis
phone
is
is turned
saying
off.
The phone is turned off. No, it's not. Is it?
Oh, did you not pay your bill again?
Oh no, they're definitely taking the money out. Is it turned off? Maybe that's why we haven't been getting calls. Sim podcast on. I mean, it says it's on.
Give it another shot,
line.
Dan.
Yeah, give it one more go. So weird. There was some weird stuff happening with the internet today.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway, see what happens. Anyway, it's got built-in storage now, which is handy, but also micro SD cards are cheap, so that's not a big deal. It does say the storage transfer is greatly increased. Oh, we do have
Unknown caller.
We have a caller. Caller, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi, this is Phil Thompson.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
G'day, mate.
Yeah, I'm just ringing in to check and see whether your phone's working.
It is. It appears to be
Yes, thanks,
working, which
Phil.
is quite amazing. Maybe Dennis's phone isn't working.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. Yeah, right. True. Okay.
I can hear myself in the
yeah.
background. That's
Yeah.
bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, because I'm in front of this computer screen, so I turned you down. That's all. Okay. No, that's fine. So you are working.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're working. We're all systems
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Thanks for
Yeah.
running the test for
Okay.
us.
That's fine. No problems at all, Justin. Okay. Catch you later, guys.
See you,
I'll
mate.
keep watching.
Okay.
Okay. See you. Bye.
Ah, how handy.
I know. A lovely
Phones are
gesture.
working, Dennis.
Let it rip.
Let it rip.
Let's move along to the next article.
Dennis Smith.
Oh, it's Dennis Smith.
Or will we? Dennis, can you hear us?
All right, that's better.
Yeah. Hey, you know what's
That's
crazy? We've just had two
Yeah.
callers and the phones worked perfectly both times. The Roadcaster.
Yeah,
This
I
is
don't
insane.
know. Well, there we go. Maybe it's a me problem, not a you problem.
No, but I mean, normally we can't even get the thing to connect to the Roadcaster to be able to hear you, and it's just working great. This is amazing. The show's looking up.
Beautiful. Now, I thought I'd give you a call and just sort of, it may have felt a little opinionated. My
Not like you, Dan.
my YouTube camera review. I mean, it's just a shit show these days, isn't it? Really, where you just get, it's the old wheat and chaff analogy. That there are some incredible reviews, and there's just the rest that are just clickbait shite, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting thing. Like I have two Pocket 3s, and they both have mics, and I've got the DJI mic. Like I'm a bit of a DJI junkie, but that's because they work. Like they are. Those Pocket 3s are so remarkable. And I watched. I did take a look at the 4, and genuinely, truly believe that it is I think you hit the nail on the head before that. This is a camera that if someone is going for this type of product, it's definitely a better camera, but it was like all DJI products, because they release them so frequently, they come out so fast that they only need to be incrementally better.
Yeah.
I don't think they need to be this sort of great quantum leap. Yeah, I think they're remarkable. Camera Conspiracies, you guys would be familiar with that YouTube channel, right? Okay, so I think it's the second greatest YouTube channel on the internet after yours. And he always hits the nail on the head. And he's a huge fan. I was going to save my call for the GoPro section because I think that's also kind of falls into the same category that like these guys, GoPro is slightly different though. They're desperate, like utterly desperate. And I think the Mission camera is really exciting, if I'm honest. But I won't take that shine from your section.
Well, I mean, now it seems like we could just go into it, or you can always call back because I'd love to hear your thoughts on it because there's a lot of mixed opinions on the internet. So it'd be interesting.
No, you
to
only get
your
one call
thoughts,
from prison a day.
Dennis isn't in prison.
Well, I'll just leave you with this on that. I think it's actually quite exciting, and I use, so back to the DJI thing. I use an Action 4 from DJI, and that camera has been around the world with me and has captured some of the most important footage that I've captured in my travels as a day-to-day hip-held camera. And the quality of that thing is remarkable, and it's absolutely tiny. And there are some outrageously high-quality micro Four Third lenses that will attach to that mission. And I think it's exciting. And, GoPro... they're dying. They're in their death throes, and if this is the rattle that we get from them as they die, it's going to be a good one, I think.
I agree. We'll definitely get deeper into it, but I think this is the move that they need to make. I think you're spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. But the pockets are incredible. I think anyone that is even contemplating that type of thing, I think it's remarkable because yes, phones are amazing, but it takes us away from, it brings us back into that mindfulness of disconnecting from that attention that comes with a phone. And it becomes more considered again.
Yeah.
Okay, legends. Thank you.
All right, thanks for. So hang on. In summary, you probably won't update your 2 Pocket 3s to Pocket 4s at this stage.
No, I won't. I wouldn't at this stage. But the main reason for that is that, like for me, the big one is the 240 frames. I mean, that's remarkable.
Yeah, that is remarkable.
At 4K. Yeah, it's incredible. And I shoot most of my commercial work and most of my behind the scenes light painting stuff is in slow motion, normally at 50 or 100. But I would absolutely thrash that 240 frames a lot. And again, incremental improvements. There's that little light. I've seen a picture of the light that attaches to it. That looks incredible.
Yeah. Hang on. Is that in this article?
I don't think it's in this
the little face fill light thing. Yeah, I haven't seen much about that.
That's incredible. And of course the DJI mics are astonishing, and they attach to it. And the thing with DJI is everything's cross compatible, so you don't lose. You don't wake up tomorrow morning and all of a sudden you've got to buy new mics. They just all work.
Yeah, that's one of the really cool things that it's like, oh, you've got that one. Oh, that also works. Like it's all good. Yeah,
it's incredible. They attach to my Action, so I do a lot of stuff in my studio with my Action 4 using the DJI mics. Amazing. Anyway, I will waffle all night. Nice to chat.
Thanks for calling.
You too.
Oh, ciao.
Ciao.
Bye. See you guys. Bye.
It is interesting though. We've kind of at this stage in consumerism where, Apple releases a new phone. How often? Is it every year? Or is it every 18
every
months?
Year.
Basically every year.
Yeah, I think in total, I can't remember what it is. Maybe averaged out, there's been 3 less models. I can't remember. Oh, maybe that's though because they were doing the 3S thing for what? Remember there was the iPhone 3S, then the iPhone 4, then the 4S. Maybe it has been every year. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. But we've reached a saturation point with the technology, or we're reaching, where the gains are getting less and less. And it's just interesting how, but we still feel like that when a new product comes out, it should supersede the previous.
Yeah, I mean, you certainly don't want to be worse than the previous, or just the same. I guess if it was just the same with I think it's all in the positioning. Like I said, if they had just said it's the GoPro, the Osmo Pocket 3S, it's got these few little updates, but it does have an entirely new sensor. It warrants being a 4. Like it is a whole new camera. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying from the point of view of me, would I go and spend money on a new one? It's not compelling enough, and I'm not using mine enough. If I was making content with it every day for the cost of these, I would probably be like, I'll just get the new one to sell the other one. And it'll probably be a few $100, $300 or $400 upgrade, but I'm using it every single day. Well worth it.
Yeah.
But I'm not. It's a travel, and I do take it to all my professional video shoots just in case it's easier to do, because I don't use gimbals for the big camera. So if we need to do something on the move with walking and talking, the quality on that is it's good enough. I've used it with mountain biking and stuff before, and mic'd up the other person, and it's definitely makes it easy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
very interesting.
Where
were we?
Here, is that the Katzenellen Bogan says, "G'day, does it have autofocus?" I assume you're talking about the Osmo.
The Osmo.
It does. Yeah, the Osmo Pocket 3 does. But if you're talking about the GoPro, we'll get to that soon.
Yeah.
Rick Nelson says, "I'd buy the Pocket 3 over the 2 once the 4 hits the shelf, mainly for price." Lol.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there'll be some cheap 3s kicking around, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Anyway, there's a lot of other features. If it's something you're interested in, dig in and see, and then watch the good or bad YouTube reviews that you may want to watch. Go and check out the camera conspiracies one Dennis is talking about, and let us know if you buy one.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, the Osmo definitely has autofocus, and the Osmo Pocket 4 is promising much upgraded autofocus. I've never had much trouble with it. Some people have complained the autofocus is pretty average. I've never had much trouble with it, but that's because it's always been like pointed at my face and I talk to it, or pointed at someone else's face and they talk to it. And it's been pretty simple scenes. So I don't know if they're trying to do more complex video making with it. Action. I would rarely use this for action. I would always use my bigger cameras. So
yeah.
Anyway. What else we got?
Leica has partnered with G-Pixel or Gpixel to make next-gen image sensors for Leica cameras.
That's interesting.
It is interesting.
Leicas have had Sonys in them, Leica everybody else has.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay. So
use off-the-shelf Sony image sensors for its M11 generation rangefinders, which the M10s actually used AMS Osram to develop 24 megapixel full frame sensors, and now they're going with this new mob, Gpixel. They're a Chinese image sensor company. Wow.
Geez, they'd want to be good.
They do this company, G-Pixel, does a whole bunch of tech, not just for...
Yeah, it says they even have full-frame global shutter chips available. Neither Leica camera AG nor G-Pixel shared any details on specifically what sensor or sensors they are working on together.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Next generation. Well, I mean, again, image sensors are starting to hit saturation. How much further? Well, we're not seeing massive leaps in megapixels. In fact, some cameras are staying at a set kind of step back from, what like your Q3. What's that? 60 megapixel.
Yeah.
So where does it go from there?
80. No, I don't know. I think the full frame 100 megapixel camera is coming. I think someone wants to do it. Yeah, because that number, that sweet triple digit marketing number, someone's going to want to do that. It's going to have so many compromises that no one's done it yet. Because everyone's after a camera that can do everything: hybrid photo, video, action, landscapes, all that stuff. But at some point, I wonder if it'll obviously be most likely Sony or Canon, I would say, would want to take that crown. Canon have done the high megapixel thing in the past. Sony are winning the high megapixel thing in the full frame world at the moment. Yeah, is someone going to want to get that? I think 80 is probably the next high megapixel number that that would sound great in marketing over Sony's 60 megapixel sensor. To be able to say it's an 80 megapixel sensor would sound like a significant increase, but yeah, someone will want to get that 100. And because obviously Fujifilm have it, GFX, 100 megapixels. It sounds amazing. It sounds like another world.
Does.
You're stepping into a different world. Whereas, you know, if you put that into the new Sony A7R body and it's got 100 megapixels or even 80, is that, you know, so close to that mark that people think, I don't need to get a GFX. I'll stick with my full frames.
Well, because it all depends on how much they can actually do it for and sell it for. That's reasonable.
Yes, exactly.
You know, is it worth chasing that golden number on a full frame sensor when they could probably more easily just create their own larger format camera?
It's interesting. So Nev just said here, 60 megapixel on full frame is equivalent to 90 megapixel on medium format, which I assume that means, are you talking about proper medium format, or you mean GFX, what do they call it, larger format or whatever, where it's not quite as big as traditional medium format is. But I thought Fujifilm were working on a 150 megapixel GFX sensor.
Yeah, that was the rumor for a while.
That was the rumor for a while. I don't know if that's true or not. But as Rick Nelson says, we're chasing dynamic range now, it seems, not megapixel in sensors. Once we reproduce what the human eye can see, it will be something else.
Yeah,
well,
true.
And I think almost all photographers would take an increase in image quality in any other like dynamic range or better high ISO and things like that, probably over just pure megapixels for the sake of megapixels.
Yeah.
I know I would. I'd be happy to stay with the current numbers that we've got on everything and just get better dynamic range, better high ISO. Not that it's already great, but yeah, I think you're right. We're seeing the diminishing returns now of sensor tech.
Yeah. Interesting.
Anyway, so
we'll sit tight. Maybe there's an M12 range coming soon with some brand new gigapixel image sensors.
What else?
What else we got?
Sarui brought out some lenses.
Yeah, they brought out some chunky lenses.
They always do that.
They do.
And this is what who was, I think it was actually Dennis had this in the before. Did you see about DaVinci Resolve?
Yeah, they're bringing out some sort of new software platform.
No, I don't think they are. I think
it's on Petapixel.
The DaVinci Resolve 21 photo editing tools show promise, but are imperfect. So it's basically you can edit raw images inside of DaVinci Resolve using sort of a photo. So it's a full-fledged video editing platform.
Yeah,
it's like using Premiere or Final Cut or whatever, and they're essentially adding in image processing tools so that to start with, if you're a video editor and you're using imagery, you don't have to, edit your image in Lightroom and then bring it into DaVinci or whatever and back and forth. You can do it all within the software. But I don't know if this is true or not, but I thought I read that you're going to be able to import Lightroom catalogs into it.
Oh, wow.
It's a beta, public release coming later this year. Supports RAW files from Canon, Nikon, Fujifilm, Sony cameras. What else? Okay, yeah. So,
but you're not saying that it plucks a still out of video. It actually can, if you've got images on your SD card.
Yes, you could use this as your photo editing software. I believe it's still a ways away from being, a Lightroom replacement. And who knows if they're actually going to do that or if it's just going to be for video producers that want to edit some photos. Like, hey, you're making these videos, but you need to shoot some stills and, create a thumbnail and do all that stuff. don't bother with Lightroom. You can do it all in our software. Maybe it's just for that, but also it might be we've built all of this stuff and we've figured out a way to basically create Lightroom by black magic in DaVinci Resolve and have people jump across, because they don't do the subscription thing. So it's a off the shelf kind of, you got to buy the software. There's
outright.
a free version. Yeah, there's a free version. Then there's an outright one, which is, I don't know, $300 or $400 or $500 or something in that range.
Yeah.
And if they actually did that, and this Paul's hit the nail on the head here. Whoever can offer a smooth and easy way to export a Lightroom catalog onto, I'm assuming Paul's saying, onto a system that is either not subscription based or just a cheaper subscription price, will get a lot of customers.
Yeah,
absolutely. If they can do that,
even if it's the same price, people will be looking to leave Adobe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
they've held monopoly for too long.
Yeah, it's very exciting that, but it may not be in their plan at all. It's hard to know. Like that, it may be just
they're just testing it out.
Well, just a tool for video creators. Hey, lots of video creators need to process stills. We've got the tech to do it. Let's just put that in there. But, so Rick Nelson says, DaVinci's made massive waves in video editing and taking over the industry. So I'm keen to see what they can do in the photo editing space. Yeah, if they do have a crack like that, it could be really interesting. If they get some, raise more money or something like that and say, we're going to have a big swing at photo editing. Could be crazy. Yeah. Dennis says Resolve Studio is only $300 or it's free if you buy a Blackmagic camera.
Now, isn't Blackmagic an Aussie company?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
it's even better.
Even better. It could be really cool.
Yeah, it could be.
Anyway, it's good to see.
Yeah.
But nice. It might be a real thing. The public beta, I think it's public beta, is out there, but later this year we'll see what they actually come out with, and maybe if they'll give an update on like what their plans are.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, I think that's about all of the news other than
the rumors. No, I think that's everything. I think it's time to talk about the mission.
The mission. Yeah. The mission improbable is what I titled the segment, because did you think GoPro were going to release a interchangeable lens camera? Not like little interchangeable, GoPro lenses like they've done, but like a micro 4/3 mount.
Didn't see the micro 4/3 coming, but I did anticipate that something was going to happen, because it's not the first time that these action cameras have offered swap out lenses. What were the ones that had the two squares that you could get different lens options that connect to the body? Can't remember what that one was. Maybe it was an Insta. Anyway, they've always this style of camera has always offered kind of fairly unique and explorative options. Like swapping out lenses and having attachments that you can add to the bodies. Like the one that we talked about a couple of months ago that had the grip and the printer and what was it? Was that the Insta?
Yeah.
That one?
Insta 360. Yeah.
So they're always trying to innovate on these products, which is great to see. They're looking for, unique angles and stuff like that. So it was only a matter of time before someone said, oh, let's just whack a mount on there, and see what happens. And I think this is a really interesting move. So in short, GoPro have released the Mission 1 series. It's 3 different cameras, one of which has a micro 4/3 lens mount. Now, it doesn't work with autofocus. It doesn't work with aperture control or any of the other electronic transfer between camera and lens. But it does afford a huge assortment of lens options. Both cheap and expensive, everything from cinematic quality micro 4/3 lenses through to, plastic fantastics. And and so they've all got new sensors as well, haven't they? They've got this new 1-inch.
It's a new sensor, new processor. This entire camera line is going to be, I don't know if there's pricing out yet, actually. you seen
Nothing
the
on
pricing?
B&H.
No. So it's going to be expensive. This is going to be a jump up. This is an add-on line over and above the Hero line that's been around for years. The traditional GoPro Hero. We're on the 13 at the moment, I think. 14,
Yeah, I think so.
13, whatever it is. Anyway, this is a step up in sensor size. It's a Type 1 sensor, so it's a much bigger sensor. And it's got some crazy video specs.
Yeah.
Um,
So
and-
50
yeah.
megapixel sensor with a brand new processor, 8K 30 and 4K 120 open gate, 8K 60, 4K 240 video for slow-mo. It's also waterproof to 66 feet, which is what, 30 meters? No, anyway, it's waterproof.
20 meters, I think.
Thanks. It's got a bigger OLED display, raw image capture and bursts of up to 60 frames. It's got good audio, and you can put whatever lens you want on it.
Well, Micro Four Thirds lens on the interchangeable one. So, okay, so let's say there's 3 models. There's essentially, forget the interchangeable one for a second. The other 2 models that come with the GoPro lens, the traditional action camera lens, one of them is like the fully featured Mac Daddy, does the 8K open gate and everything.
Daddy.
Mac Daddy.
Yeah.
And then there's essentially, I can't remember what they've called the individual model designations. Oh, yeah. So Mission 1 Pro.
Yeah.
And then there's the Mission 1, which is the same as the Mission 1 Pro, but with 8K 30 instead of 8K 60, 4K 120 open gate instead of 4K 240. So it's basically just halving the frame rates, which is going to require way less processing, heat management, all that kind of stuff. It's possibly even exactly the same camera with different firmware, who knows? But it will be cheaper. It will be the cheapest, obviously. The Pro will be the one that people will buy for the traditional action cam, but want basically the best one that's ever been made. And then that ILS will be the same as the Pro. The Pro ILS will be the same as the Pro, but with the interchangeable Micro Four Thirds mount. But remembering it's not a Micro Four Thirds sensor, it's a Type 1 sensor. So
how does that work?
So it's essentially, think about it like you've got a full frame camera, full frame lens on a crop sensor camera. It's going to be kind of like that. So your 50 mil will operate more like an 85 or whatever, and it'll be a similar kind of change in that way. I don't know what the exact maths is going from Micro Four Thirds to Type 1.
Yeah, I haven't been able to find anything about it.
Yeah, so you're essentially just instead of using the full image circle that the lens is projecting, you're using a crop in the middle, which is the Type 1 sensor. So it's like using a camera in crop mode. That's how it will work. And obviously, like you said, it'll be full manual everything on the lenses. I want to bring this up because this GoPro didn't come up with this. They stole it from a man by the name of Van Neistat, one of my favorite YouTubers, Casey Neistat's brother, amazing filmmaker and artist. And this is his GoPro that he's had for a number of years and he spent way too much money on. But as you can see, he's modified it so that he can use it filming his vlogs in his car with this crazy wooden mount. It's got interchangeable lenses that he can fit on there. So he can have a telephoto 68mm lens, use it for all of his product, like shots, macro and everything. And they've obviously just taken Van's idea and copied it.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome.
Yeah,
if anyone hasn't seen Van Neistat's videos, if you like handyman fixing things, DIY customization, and an amazing filmmaker, you'll love Van Neistat on YouTube. But yeah, his GoPro is this essentially.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's been using it for years, and he admitted, he was like, I got so deep into the project, I spent so much money, and it's not great. He's like, it's not the best camera, but I use it because I made it.
Why not?
Yeah, so I saw some comments saying, why would anyone want to use a GoPro with these lenses when there's so many better cameras than a GoPro to use with a micro four thirds lens? What are your thoughts on that?
Look, I've never owned a GoPro. I've never used one. And as far as action cams go, it's only what I've seen of yours floating about the place. But I think this is a really good, it's a smart step for GoPro. You know, Den was saying earlier that, you know, they're in their death throes, according to him. And I think this might be a product that could very well, you know, shift their fate a little bit in a more positive direction. I think the great thing about it is that given the crazy number of micro four third lens options you've got out there, the people are going to create all sorts of amazing, whimsical, wonderful things with this camera. If anything, it'll become less of an action camera and more of an artist tool. Potentially.
Yeah.
You know, the Mission 1, the baseline model, amazing specifications.
Yeah,
you know,
crazy.
from this tiny little thing you can fit in your pocket. It's bananas. And the Mission 1 Pro, you know, takes that up a step to, you know, the sort of quality that we're seeing in these pro grade mirrorless cameras.
Yeah.
If not better, you know. And now you've got the option to not just stick with the lens that comes stuck to the front of your camera. You can put whatever lens you want on it and do whatever you want with it and be creative. So all of a sudden it becomes a creative tool again, you know?
I agree. Dennis Smith.
All right. I couldn't help myself.
Yes. What do you think?
Well, great point, right? Is you, by making the statement that people will make art with.
Hold on. I think our roadcast has finally given me grief. Give me 1 second.
I can.
No, I can fix this. I think. Let's just try this. One thing. Hold the line because I don't want to miss what you're about to say.
No worries.
Stay with me. Technical difficulties. All right. Can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Perfect. Much better.
Oh, that's
all right.
Okay, we're good to go.
We're good to go.
Yeah. I think Greg hit the nail on the head by making the statement that people will make art with this, and we go back to this classic thing of this age that we live in, that people are so fast to bag something for this reason or that reason or the other reason. The reality is that if you think about it, and the crazy thing is, my DJI action camera, I still call it a GoPro. GoPro has become something like GoPro is like sellotape and electrolyte. Like, it's one of those things that it's so quintessentially embedded into the psyche of what a camera is. We call all small action cameras GoPros, right? And I think people that are quick to bag them for why this, why that, you've never used one, so it's not for you. It's the same as the people who bag Leica or Hasselblad. If you're bagging a Leica, you're never going to own a Leica, so keep it to yourself. And it's the same with action cameras. I absolutely thrash my action cameras, and I'll tell you when I thrash them. When I need small, lightweight, compact, that is really good quality. I attach them to, recently I shot a commercial film in a field where wheat was being stuffed. I was attaching this thing to a 20-meter wide wheat harvester with a clamp. You know, you're not doing that with your small Sony camera because it doesn't stabilize it. You know, these things stabilize well. And I think what happens is when I'm sitting, I've got the image on my screen of these three cameras, and I go, there's no way I'm buying the one on the left that has the fixed camera because it's a GoPro. But when I see something with a micro four third mount, immediately what I do is what Greg suggested. How can I make something that I couldn't make any other way, you know, with this thing? And I can think of 10 shots, 10 applications where I would use this camera and I would not be able to do it with any other camera. And that's art. That's when you take something and you go, how can I push this thing, or how can I extend the image making so that it is something people look at and it blows their brains out, rather than, I mean, that's what I think about. And if you've never used a Micro Four Third lens, you've not experienced glass. Like the Olympus make some of the best glass in the world because they are a medical lens company. You know, these people are the world's leaders at making lenses that are smaller than your pinky finger nail. And I've got a couple of lenses that I would attach to this thing that are just mind-boggling. You know? And if they can make a decent sensor, of course it's the holy grail. It's open gate, which that's all that really matters.
It's all that matters, Dennis.
Which
it is all
amazing.
that matters. Well,
it's
all
all that matters.
So
but
tell me this.
Amazing.
Tell me this.
Yeah.
I saw a comment that said, "Why wouldn't people just use Micro Four Thirds cameras?"
Yes, I can. Yeah. Okay.
For I'm assuming they mean for filmmaking, because I think if anyone's looking at this thinking this isn't a great photo camera, it's probably not a great photo camera. This is for video. This is for What are your thoughts
I'll tell
on
you
that?
So here are the reasons. They're 4 times the size and weight, which is massive. Like, action cameras are all about, what can I attach this thing to that I couldn't attach anything else to? They have mounting and rigging systems that make them easy to mount to stuff, right? Now, you're probably not going to mount one of these things with a Micro Four Third camera to, when you're doing skateboarding or action stuff like that, but you will definitely attach it to a motorbike, that sort of thing. So it's all about rigging. Now, I think I flashed my case of, I literally own about 40 Olympus Micro Four Third camera bodies, and you have all of the same challenges of weather sealing, weatherproofing, not so much, if you're attaching a lens, but mounting them to things and stabilization is a huge one, right? It's very good, but it's nothing like one of these action cameras. And I mean, for shits and giggles, holy moly, if I scroll down, this thing does 4K 240, which is insane. Unbelievable. No, not even Sony, my A7S, I mean, my fantasy is that they released A7S4 because that'll do 4K 240. But yeah, these things are just incredible. But that's the big one. So high frame rate. So go back to the reasons why not a Micro Four Third camera. Size, weight, mounting, rigging, 4K 240, and 8K 30, which 8K 60, which will be really good.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think it's exciting, and it's really, and actually, all taking the piss out of GoPro aside, it's quite nice to see someone poking a stick in the side of DJI for a microsecond.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think so. And I think, I think based on what you've been saying too, Dan, I think the interesting thing, I mean, professionals have used GoPros since they first came out because they're a handy videography tool, but they've almost stepped up the level of pro offerings that they can do now with this new ILS version of the camera. And it's probably the first GoPro or the first action cam to come out that you can't use out of the box. You've got to have lenses. You've got to have access to glass. Otherwise you're just buying one of the others.
And there's some, the other thing as well is I think when we think about content creators, right? So it's looking back at the Pocket, so the Pocket 3 and 4, it's such a huge part of the market now is this concept of content creators. So 2 days ago, I was working with a client at a brewery, a very, very high end shoot that I was shooting on some very high end Sony stuff and audio and stuff. I had my Pocket 4 there, and I attached it to a bottling line. So they were running these bottles through a bottling line, and I just attached an Action 4 to a bottle with a clamp, right, and ran it through the bottling line. Unbelievable the quality that came off this thing, right? It looked amazing. It was perfectly stable. you're not attaching a Micro Four Third body to a bottle as it's going down a bottling line. It's just not going to happen, And the thing is that the quality, we forget what quality looked like just 10 years ago. Like we're in this golden age as creators and filmmakers where something as ridiculously tiny as a GoPro or an Action 4 can produce. I've got footage from my last trip to India that is simply mind-boggling. Off the hip, you don't even know I've got it in my hand, and I know, like if I'm holding my hand now at my hip, cupped as if I'm holding an f1.2 Micro Four Third piece of glass. That thing in low light attached to a GoPro is going to be insane. In low light. Now, I would be interested. One of the things I'm interested to see is whether you can adjust the aperture from the body. That would be interesting.
According to what I read, you can't. It's only you can't adjust aperture and you can't adjust autofocus.
So how does it adjust? How do you set the aperture?
You'd have to be able to set the aperture.
You'd have to.
Because otherwise, it won't be the creative tool that people would want, especially because I'm thinking like Dennis is hitting the nail on the head with the fact that like this is something that I read in some comments actually that were saying who would want this, and so one of the answers was me. I'm a DP, and I actually wrote to so I said I'm a DP, and I wrote to GoPro requesting this 10 years ago, and they said it's not something that we would pursue. And he's like, I'm so glad they did it. You know who I think would be salivating over this release? Past guest Chris Benny. Chris Benny, automotive shoots with Red Bull, Audi from Cube Productions. He will be looking at this already having a million plans of where he can put it with what lenses and focal lengths and stuff like that, and just thinking, this is going to be sick. Strap it to
I'll give you an example.
Plane.
I'll give you an example. If you watch, I watch a massive amount of automotive stuff on YouTube, right? So it's huge, and car reviews, that sort of stuff. They've all got 4 or 5 action cameras attached to the inside and the outside of the cars, right? And removing, the ability to add high quality glass to the front of those cameras is it's golden. I love that statement. Who would buy one of these things? Me. I'd be all over it. I would order one tomorrow if it, because I own all the glass already. But anyway, that's my opinion. I think it's a really positive thing. I think it's wonderful, and I think we go back to this thing of, just be careful the comments that you listen to and you take any notice of online, because people are really quick to it's a very clickbaity thing, right? It's a very clickbaity thing. People will be using this as an opportunity to poke poke GoPro on the side and have an opinion. Listen to and you're so right, Justin. Listen to the people who matter, and those are cinematographers, people that actually make content. That are not review videos. And there would be very few people that would look at these specs and not go, "Yup, that's going in the corner of my bag."
Did you see that clip I showed before from Van Neistat of his custom GoPro? So,
I love.
So he is the definition of like an artist video creator guy. Like that's all he does. And he did this years ago because he obviously just saw the possibilities of mounting this weird glass to his GoPro. And it's exactly what it is. It's some people are gonna see this and just be like, I can create cool shit with this.
We need, because this is the thing, and thank you, Greg. Looping back to your comment about art, right? If what you're truly doing is endeavoring to make something that makes people feel something other than meh, then any opportunity or anything that is different or at the edge, or the cutting edge of what opens that door for us to make mind-blowing stuff, can only be positive. It's less average. I'm sick of average. Average is so fucking boring.
Yeah,
well,
for sure.
This camera is far from average and far from boring.
Alrighty, legends, get out of here.
All right, Dan.
All right.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you. Oh, I'm coming to Melbourne, by the way.
Ooh.
When?
Coming to Melbourne. I'm very close to announcing I'm going to come and spend a week in Melbourne prior to BFOP, and I'm about to tentatively book a space for a workshop in Melbourne, which is exciting. But wrapped up in that is definitely a street walk and a catch up with you guys, Greg, and
sure.
it'll be lovely. All righty, have a beautiful night.
All right, you too.
You too.
See ya, bye.
See you, mate.
All right.
The last thing I will say on this particular topic, just on that camera, is that GoPros are often seen as a more affordable solution, and in high-end pro gigs, they're almost disposable. They bolt it or suction cup it to the side of a car. If it comes off, well, it comes off, as long as we got the footage.
Exactly.
And this opens even more doors for that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it'll just be a more expensive disposable camera, because they'll trash something that's double the price and has a lens on it, but it will still be in the range of disposable for a big production. It's not a $20,000 camera. They'll just be like, well, whoops.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. All right, we should probably keep on trucking, because we do have.
Yeah, we should. We've got a lot of images to get through.
A ton of images, so we'll burn through some rumors. We'll have a quick look at everything we can find. Where's my rumors thing? Let's go. Rumors. Well, you know what the first rumor is that one that. Where's that one that you had in here?
Which one?
Where is it? This one.
The dual Osmo Pocket.
So the Osmo Pocket, the Osmo Pocket 4 wouldn't make me upgrade, but the Osmo Pocket 4 Pro might. This is still a rumor. No idea if it's true. There's been leaked images. There was actually a lot of rumors that this was going to be the 4. It was going to be a dual lens Osmo Pocket 4, and that would be the big upgrade. And that's why I think everyone's kind of a little bit like, oh, it's not that different to the 3. Because they were hoping it was going to be this. But it would make sense that they release this as a higher tier price point, only for people that want it. Keep the other one at the price point everyone's been happy with. Don't upset the apple cart kind of thing by trying to pack too much into it. So that's the rumor, the dual lens. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, they've been doing it on drones for years now. Yeah. So, and phones. Anyway, but yeah, there's lots of these little like leaked shots of like you don't know if someone's photoshopped it or not. This little thing in the background of these little dual lens things, because there's also the same rumor for Insta360 releasing their Osmo Pocket competitor, and that it will have a dual lens. So. These rumors might also be not even applicable to DJI. They might be, right idea, wrong company, and it's actually Insta360's product people have been spotting out and about with 2 cameras on it. So who knows?
Yeah. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah. I think...
like you said, they're already doing it on drones. It's short hop, skip, and a jump to put that in someone's hand.
The Insta360 one is already... I think they actually said they're bringing it out. Like it's not a rumor. It's a, what do you call it? Like an announced thing.
Yeah.
Hang on. Lunar leaks. Oh, there's so many of them. What website can be trusted? Tech e-blog? We'll see. Yeah. It looks like a weird little robot man.
It does, doesn't it?
It's very humanish. So yeah, who knows what's coming? It'll be one of those ones. That one's got a Leica.
I saw that.
Yeah, because I mean they are partnered with Leica for the Ace Pro 2 and all that sort of stuff. So the little red dot. Bizarre. Okay, so that more gimbally sticks are on the way.
Yeah.
But what else? What else has been rumored in the rumor mill?
Well, speaking of Insta360, they're making a micro four thirds camera, or at least they're playing with the concept.
Yeah. What's the deal with this? I haven't read up much on this. I'll bring it up.
Yeah.
What have you learned?
Well, very little. Basically, there's a couple of shots going around of the camera. This concept Insta360, which actually, when you look at it, kind of looks like the grip that goes onto that action camera. You know what I mean? You know how they brought out the action camera with the printer? It looks like the same bloody grip, but it's just molded into one.
Yeah, you're right there. You're spot on.
It's got the one control dial at the back. It's got the on-off and the toggle at the front.
I'm just looking at this. It looks photoshopped, and I don't know why. Like someone's pasted on the Insta360 bit here. There's like a line around it. It's very weird, and there's like scribblies over different bits and pieces. But anyway, I don't know where these rumor photos ever come from and what the deal is, but
Insta360 CEO has said, or he actually posted the image on Chinese social media.
Right. But it also would not be, I guess they're usually pretty hidden about it, but it also would not be out of the question for the Insta360 CEO to have a test camera that is nowhere near production, you know, but he's just kind of fiddling with it and using it for product shots and stuff to see if it's going to be a thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yep.
Greg Carrick's weighed in. He says fake images. Hard to know.
It's hard to know. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to sit tight on it, keep an eye on it. And look, I'm sure all of these companies have proof of concept stuff, some that work, some that doesn't.
I was going to say for like a million products that may or may not get followed through or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, look how many patents they list that just never get made, as far as we know.
Yep.
You know, they're always patenting new products, new, lenses and camera bodies and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's just a
Rick
placeholder.
Nelson? Yeah, exactly. Rick Nelson says Nikon teased the cinema lens I saw today. Hang on, you saw the cinema lens or you saw the tease? Or did you see it in person? Did you get a first look? Yeah, that's it. Nikon teases the impending arrival of autofocus Z cinema lenses. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Big
so
category.
they brought out the cinema camera. When was that now? Was that at the start of this year? Or was it end of last?
Oh, the ZR.
The ZR.
Yeah, they're sort of like, I don't know. I guess you call it a cinema camera. It was a very entry-ish level. I don't know what you would call it. Not
it's
super high end.
Yeah.
Foot in the door. But they are they own Red. So there's obviously there's a lot of cinema in Nikon's future.
Yeah.
At all levels.
And so it only makes sense that they bring out a line of compelling, high-end cinema glass.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? They've got all the technology to make it. They've even got their own cinema camera company now. It was only a matter of time before this sort of happened, which is great. More competition means more options for cinematographers, videographers, whoever. And it keeps the industry ticking along.
Speaking of cinema cameras, there's been a lot of confusion in the Canon rumors going from what's coming up. There was talk of this vintage, there was all these Canon's finally going to release a vintage. There was like an AE1 kind of looking retro photo getting around. Anyway, then it turned out that it was going to be the R8 Mark II or EOS R8V. That's when this photo started floating around, which has got that traditional Canon from the EOS film cameras. Had this.
You've still got the Nikon page up.
Oh, do I? Oh, sorry. I'm looking at this cool photo. Thanks. Yeah, this. So that color scheme, which is basically, have I got one of them on the shelf? Yes. There's these rumors that this color scheme, which is basically the same as a Oh, go away. Canon film camera from the 90s. And I don't know. I just can't see it happening. I mean, I could see this color scheme happening, basically just an option.
Yeah.
Like we said, a limited
But it won't be on a
release, something
high-end
different.
model. It'll be on an APS-C or something.
I could see them doing, because the R8s are low-end full frame. I could see them using that. Nikon used their lower-end full frame spec body as their retro-styled camera. Yeah. So I could see that happening. I just, that original kind of vintage one, and with what they're saying, and now they're saying R8V, and then just today they come out and said, we're getting an R6V, not an R8V, and it looks like this, as in V for vlogging camera. I don't know if there's, but it then says in the article, but don't worry, we're still getting the R6V, but don't worry, there will still be an R8 Mark II coming after the R6V, and it will have the retro styling. I'm like, I just don't know. You might have just gotten confused, and the V for vintage or whatever, it's just this, the R6V. We'll see. I could be wrong.
It feels like a bit of a let's throw a whole bunch of stuff out there as long as something sticks.
As long as something sticks. But this makes sense. This is essentially going to be, they're predicting a 33 megapixel sensor, so exactly the same as the R6 Mark III and the C50. Why would they have a C50 and this thing, the R6V, this might be cheaper price point, less features, much smaller camera, in that vlogging range more so than in that cinema range, being called a V rather than a C50.
So more like the Sony ZVs.
Correct. Exactly like that. So they've got their FX stuff, which is what the C50 is playing in. This is more like, the ZV range, where it's just, will produce amazing video, but more pointed towards a YouTube creator kind of thing, or a B camera for a professional videographer than a proper full-on cine camera. That's probably what we'll see. Who knows? Anyway.
It is interesting. I wonder if Canon's worried about Nikon's move into red and into cine.
They'd be looking at that for sure. Definitely. Yeah. And that camera that they did bring out was priced lower than the C50. It definitely had less features, and it's a very popular camera. So I think they would have been looking at that very closely and thinking, do we need to fill that gap? Whereas they've previously let their hybrid photo video cameras fill those gaps.
Yep. It's cat and mouse.
Are there any Fuji rumors? What's going on?
Hasn't been any for a while. Well, there's a summit coming up soon, as we talked about at the top of the show. Same, not the summit, not the Creator Summit, but there's a Fujifilm summit. I think it's in Prague. I think there's 2 this year. They usually have a couple throughout the year, and every time they launch something new, there's a whole bunch of rumored lenses and a rumored lens roadmap. There's been a lot of rumors about XT6 and an X Pro 4. But there hasn't been anything substantial. It's just the Fuji rumors site going, previously unknown sources told me this, and so I'm going to write a whole page about it. So I'm not. There's nothing in there that kind of makes me step up and go, "Oh, that sounds credible." Of course, there's an XT6 coming. It's one of their best-selling cameras. It's their flagship photography camera. Of course, there's an X Pro 4 coming. They've said it themselves. Yeah. They've said we're still in the X Pro game.
I wish they'd hurry up.
Yeah, everyone does. But you know what I mean? Like there's some stuff that happens on rumor sites. You just go, "Oh no, shit, Sherlock! Like, come on."
Well, the rumors come in, I guess, when they know something, not just that there will be an XT6, but is there a rough timeline or what sensors is it going to have or whatever. Yeah. But it usually just starts off with the guessing game.
But it is interesting, these sites. I do laugh at them because they'll start with a really bold headline like Fujifilm to release an XT6 with a 50 megapixel image sensor and this almost confirmed in sort of, in the first sentence of the actual paragraph. It's just, it's just a game. It's clickbait, but sometimes they get it right. Not very often.
I mean, there's been a ton of cameras that have been close in the Canon world anyway, and in Nikon. I used to go on Nikon
of course,
all the time, but it's as it gets closer and closer, the picture starts to become a lot clearer of what's happening. But it's when it's 6 months away, it's just kind of like, maybe.
Yeah.
Any other rumors? Any other rumors, chat, that you've been hearing? I know DJI's got a drone coming that they teased. I don't know what the deal is with that.
Was that the one that they've only launched in China or Japan? No, China.
No, the DJI Lito lineup will be debuting in a few days. It's going to be like a sub 249 gram entry level drone, all round vlog camera drone. Just one of their. I guess it's a Mavic Mini replacement, maybe, or complement. Like it maybe even cheaper. I'm not sure, but anyway, that's coming. What else have I seen? Ooh, Tony Northrup had the Sony A7R6 the other day. Did he really? Or was he tricking?
I haven't watched the full. Philip very kindly sent me through that video. I haven't had a chance to watch it all yet, because typically the first sight of the Northrups, I get chills.
I like it.
Yeah, I know you do. You've got this bromance with Tony, haven't you?
Oh, they've been very supportive of the camera strap. Speaking of which, have we done we're an hour and 37 minutes in. Have we done an ad read for the camera straps?
No, we haven't. Why don't you?
I don't know. Should we
go?
Should we just not tell anyone? If you want a camera strap, you guess where the best ones are. You'll find us.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. They're at luckystraps.com. They're amazing. Check it out.
Yeah.
They
use
make
code
this
Greg.
whole podcast go. Use code Greg or use code Justin, whichever one you prefer.
Never Jim. Never use Jim. That will actually double the price.
Don't use Jim's code until he comes back on the podcast. He's been so busy, but he's promised he's going to come back. He's got shoots this week for Boudoir. I saw his new Boudoir albums and products and stuff today. He's, it's all happening.
Oh, good on him.
Okay. I don't see much here for... Oh, here's one of the good ones. Should I wait for the Sony A7R6 or upgrade now on Reddit? We should have a look at that, but we don't have time. I love those sort of posts and all the comments. Yeah. People are just like, if you waited for the next camera forever, you'll never have a camera. You just buy a camera and start making photos. Okay. Should we look at some images?
Let's look at some photos.
Yeah. Now, I really haven't downloaded yours. I'll do that. I'll do that now. Oh, there's only 6 here.
You don't have to bring them all up.
Well, how do I know which one to bring up?
Oh, that's up to you.
Oh, no.
What do we start with? Just do it in order.
Yeah, do it in order. Just give me 1 second to get my screen set up. Find it in there. Bring that over there. And then bring up the screen.
Interesting comment here from EDC Adventures. Welcome.
Hey, EDC.
Welcome. Let us know where you're watching us from. I'd rather buy a proper APS-C or Micro Four Thirds camera. I'm assuming that's in place of an action cam.
Yeah, I'd guess so, and which makes total sense. Like if you're looking for a hybrid photo video camera with more features, that's definitely what you should do. The GoPro is a specialist piece of equipment. Okay, let's go. Start off.
All right. Who are we going to start with?
The first one on the sheet should be. Is it Marty? Have you got the thing?
Yeah, Marty Strecker.
Yeah.
Hi, Justin and the team. I don't get to listen live, but listen to the podcast version the day after. Thank you. Only lately did I go back and check a couple of your YouTube apps to see the images you spoke about. I've included 2 images, long exposures and ICM. Some of mine. What's ICM?
intentional camera movement.
Thank you.
For like motion blur, but with the camera, yeah.
Yeah. Are my favorite things to do: landscape, people, sports, etc. These are both at the same spot, handheld, one after the other. On the OME EM1 Mark III 12 to 40 Pro lens at 12 mil. Enjoying the show. Thanks heaps. Thank you, Marty.
Yeah, thanks, Marty. Thanks for sending some photos. It's awesome to hear an audio listener. Go back and have a look at some of the photos that have been sent in, then send in your own photos. If you're an audio listener that you don't get a chance to join us live and you listen on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or anything else, send a photo in. Email it to me, justin@luckystraps.com.au. Use your name in the file name and just tell me a bit about the photo, right? As little or as much as you want. And we'll bring it up on the show. But yeah, these are great. I really like that one. Just enough blur to drag me into the rocks.
Yeah. I like the other one because it takes you a while to work out what it is. You know, there's this trail almost. It's almost like a boat's wash, you know. But it's not. It's just the surf.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well done, Marty. Yeah.
The chat agrees.
Lots of love here.
Greg, Rick, David Skinner, also great. David says very peaceful.
It is.
And,
love it.
Dennis says it looks like a painting. Oh, Katz and Alan Bogan says, watching from South Africa. No way. I remember you saying that, I think. But and you donated some. Hang on, what's ZAR? What's the South African?
I have no idea.
I don't know. Something.
How much was it?
14 ZARs. I need to be more worldly.
Oh yeah, you need to get out more.
It's true.
Didn't realize my keyboard was turned off.
That'll slow things down. Are you Googling it, are you?
Yep.
All right.
14 South African Rand, which is ZAR,
Oh, that's
is approximately $1.20 Australian.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Help keep the lights on. Okay.
That's right.
Up next, Felicity Johnson
Felicity
says...
Johnson.
Yeah, she says, here's my one photo for tonight. It's a drone shot from Lake Tyrrell showing the pink hues. I always feel a sense of adventure sending up the drone and seeing the land and its patterns, textures, and colours. Often totally unexpected and not visible from the ground. DJI Mini 4 Pro, nothing fancy, but it's quiet and small. And well, it certainly does the job. That photo is beautiful.
It's
I
gorgeous.
love that one.
There's something
I really
really
want to get up there.
organic
up to
about
that area.
that. Yeah, you need to. I think you'd love it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It does have a bit of a...
There's something skeletal about it. Like it almost looks like bone.
Yeah. I can see that.
Amazing.
Or spilt milk.
Yeah.
A lot of it. Like a truck. Yeah,
David Skinner says it's a strawberry milkshake.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, very cool.
All right.
Who's up next? John Hall. Let me start reading because John has written quite the tale. An unusual one perhaps this week, inspired by your interview with Anne Scott Virtue. And if you haven't seen that, guys, go back and watch that. We interviewed Anne Scott Virtue last week. Amazing wedding photographer, also a beef up instructor. We had a great chat, didn't we?
Yeah, it was an awesome interview. If you have any interest in wedding photography, whether running a business or just wanting to try it, or you've used to be a wedding photographer or whatever, you'll love the entire thing. And even if you don't, Anne's stories about how she got into photography and all the other genres she's tried before becoming a wedding photographer. Yeah, epic interview. Really, really
amazing
cool
stuff. Anyway, so her comments about raw emotion versus technical perfection got me thinking about a photo that I've been reflecting on recently. To anyone else, this will be just another nondescript old photo, and fair enough. For me, though, it demonstrates the emotional power of the still image and why this craft is so important. As you can see, this is not technically a very good photo. However, in its defense, it is 40 years old and was taken by a kid who had not long before discovered the joy of photography. It was taken on Easter, Thursday, 1986. It was my first trip to the high country, and I went with my best mate from school. We camped the first night at Craig's hut, where the photo was taken. This is the original hut, and back then it was just an abandoned film set. not the tourist attraction it has become today. It was the first of many Easter trips we took to the high country together, a tradition we were able to maintain until just after COVID, when Victoria opened up and went crazy, and it became too busy. This year was to be our 40th anniversary, and we'd been planning a return. Unfortunately, it was not to be. On Easter Thursday last year, he rang to tell me he was in hospital and was about to lose a kidney to cancer. We lost him a few months later. Last Saturday was the first anniversary of that operation, and this photo naturally brings back some great memories of camping in the high country. It was the first time I saw a sunset up there, which can be an emotional experience in itself, and this was my first attempt at capturing one. However, more importantly, it reminds me of a great friendship that lasted for nearly 50 years. This shot was taken on a Pentax Spotmatic, my first real camera, with a Super Takuma 51.4 on Kodak Gold 200 film. No idea what the settings were. I still have this camera, but it leaks like an upturned bucket now. It was nearly 20 years old at the time, but it seemed pretty flash to me, as it even had a built-in light meter. Great camera to learn on, and I would love to find someone to restore it so I could put a roll or two of film through it again. To get this image, I scanned the original negative, which after 40 years was in poor condition. I cleaned it up in Photoshop before bringing it into Lightroom to try and restore some of the original color. I had it printed by Adam Edwards. Speaking of which, Adam Edwards is joining us next Monday, but more about that later. I had it printed by Adam Edwards after doing his excellent printing workshop last year, and now it hangs on the wall in my office. It actually looks good as a print, as the grain and softness add a lot of character, as long as you don't get too close. It has the added benefit of reminding me of a good mate. And after 40 years, it is still one of my most cherished images. He's also included a copy of the scanned neg for comparison.
Yeah, I'll go to
what an
that
amazing story.
That's the scanned negative.
Oh, I love the color. What an amazing story.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing all of that.
Yeah, thank you, John.
Yeah.
We're so sorry for your loss. It's a shitty deal.
Yeah. But
Cancer's a
beautiful
shitty
photo.
deal. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, and thanks for sending the negative in too.
Yeah, it's cool to see.
That's so cool. It's got that Kodak Gold.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, up next,
David Leparati.
David Leparati. Where are we? On theme for this week.
It is.
So, David says, I know you've asked for one image, but I thought it might whet your appetite for more infrared with this series of images. Now, I'll get to that. All of these were shot handheld, no tripod needed, on my converted Fuji XE2 590 nanometer plus Fuji XF 18 to 135 lens. So image one, which is this one, color infrared raw plus raw with custom camera profile and white balance, and custom camera profile and white balance and inverted color. So it's like a 3 set, straight out of camera on the left, then camera profile plus white balance in the middle, then camera profile plus white balance plus color inverted on the right. Does that make sense? Three shots of the same thing. Let's see if I can zoom in. Oops, wrong one. Nope, too far.
Yes, you can.
Okay. I've got a new mouse. I'm still figuring it out. Nope, that's not working. Okay. Click and drag. Nope, that doesn't work. Does anyone know how mouses work? Nope. Zoom out. There we go. Okay. Anyway, I can't zoom in. I've lost control of my computer, Greg.
Oh, no.
I can't zoom in very well. If I can get it to here.
Stop.
No.
Don't touch.
Stop. Oh, this is fun. No, that didn't work. There we go. And then in. No. There we go. I did it. Okay. So straight out of camera profile and white balance, and then camera profile, white balance inverted.
Color inverted.
Oh, color inverted. Sorry.
Yeah, look at that.
Yep. I'm definitely I'm definitely going to get an infrared camera. All right. And then image 2 is the same setup, but it's with, hang on, let me zoom in on these. The middle one is with an 850 nanometer lens filter. And then the third one has a Photoshop effect on it. The raw black and white conversion, these are all shot at ISO 200 f8 at a shutter speed of 1/50th of a second. 1/150th of a second.
Yep.
So, and if I zoom in without getting it wrong, it actually worked that time. No, it didn't. Ta-da. Yeah, basically you're seeing it go. Look at how much darker the sky gets with that filter. And then just the foliage just goes into that white. I love that.
Yeah, pretty cool. And then it just becomes like whimsy, doesn't it? It's just
whimsy, ethereal.
Yeah, ethereal. That's the word. You're right. Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, I think I almost prefer the sharper one, but yeah, hard to tell. Anyway, okay, and then if we go to this one, Image 02A, simulates the Kodak high-speed infrared film, HIE, which was grainy and had no anti-halation layer, which caused prominent blooming or glow, often seen in the highlights and bleeding into film rebate. So that's
it does
effect.
too.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It does that.
Very cool. And then image number 3, EMS sensitivity of digital sensors. Courtesy for the book Color Doesn't Exist, A Practical Guide to Infrared Photography by Rob Shea. I'm getting excited now. Just showing the spectrum of visible light going from UV through the visible spectrum and then all the way up to infrared.
Yeah.
And then the infrared spectrum, which is like the visible spectrum's all the way down here on the left and then all the way up through the infrared spectrum.
Color.
Yeah. And then far infrared astronomy. It makes so much more sense when you can see it like this instead of just seeing all the numbers and then the different, because I've been going on websites looking at the different, this wavelength will give you this sort of look, but you have to do a color swap to get it and things, all that sort of stuff. Whereas this, just knowing, it gives you a much better idea of what you're trying to photograph, I guess, of those infrared spectrums. Anyway, David finishes off by saying, I'm really looking forward to Thursday's episode with Wayne Rogers from Imaging by Design. That's right. This Thursday, live, 9 a.m., Wayne Rogers from Imaging by Design, and I'm going to spend a couple of hours asking him all the questions I have about what camera I should get converted for infrared photography and how it works, because they do the conversions at Imaging by Design. So I want to know, is it going to wreck my camera? Can I get a full spectrum conversion and then put one of the filters in so I can use it like a normal camera and then put a different filter in to be able to do infrared photography, switch back and forth and not have any major quality issues? Can I revert it back to a normal camera if I want to, or is it just stuck like this for life? I have so many questions. Will it make me a better photographer? The usual. Yeah,
I get it. The important questions.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks, David, for sending all those in. It got me excited when I saw them on the email. I was like, yeah, it's infrared week here.
It's a primer.
It is. It's a primer.
Yeah. Who's up next? Phil Thompson. Have you got Phil Thompson's image?
Sure do.
Holy Lord, look at that. As it is Anzac Day this week on Saturday, I thought this image, Phil Thompson-1, thank you for naming your image appropriately, would be appropriate. It was captured on the epic night of 12th of August 2024 at the Anzac Memorial at Point Danger at Torquay. The aurora was visible just after dark and was rising and falling all night. I called it quits with my last shot over our lifestyle village clubhouse at 1 a.m. I've been waiting for this shot for many months. To shoot it, I was down on my hands and knees in the car park there with camera on tripod to shoot at a low angle to be able to see the aurora happening behind the memorial. It was captured at 1024 on my Pentax K1 Mark II, 2-second exposure at f2.8, 2.8, and 3200 ISO. I shot hundreds of images that night over the 5 hours. And you have time and want to show any others from that night, the other images attached were captured at different times, all in Torquay.
We don't have time, but I'm going to show them because they're insane, like this one. I was like, how could I not? And so all these from the same night. Look at that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And then this one. Oh, I really like that one.
Yeah. That's phenomenal, isn't it?
The big blue section of sky there, just to be like that. That's what it would normally look like, but no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, great work, Phil. You're very lucky. You seem to be very lucky all the time. Everywhere you go, there's beautiful, beautiful things to photograph. You might be making your own luck, I think.
Maybe.
All right. Who have we got next? John Latimer. Another little series. John says, I get to travel for my work a lot. I run my business and work events like Comic-Con, etc. And I run my business and work events. Oh, you work at events like Comic-Con, etc. Had a convention last weekend, the Gold Coast. Went to a reserve there in the intentions of trying to get some macro shots of frogs. Found them there before, but no luck. But instead, I found a lot of water dragons instead. Kind of fun to photograph. They sit very still until the slightest thing startled them, and then they run away on two legs. Quite comical. That would be funny.
Yeah.
It's like, just run off.
Yeah.
These were my favorite shots I got of them. Couldn't decide which one I like more, so any feedback would be super helpful. Shot with A7R 3 with 200 to 600 at 600 mil. Edited on Lightroom Mobile, Topaz to help denoise some of the low light. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate the pod and community. We appreciate you, John, and these images.
I think the first one's my favorite. That one.
Yeah, that one looks like it could be out of a book that I had at school, like a book about lizards. Like that. Yeah. That looks exactly like because of the way that it's blending in with its environment so well, but it's also perfectly captured.
Yeah, it's sharp.
And like shows it profile. You can see the detail on the skin and all that sort of stuff, but it also looks like it's blending in. Whereas, I prefer it to this one. That is nice as well, and it shows a different sort of pose of the dragon, but I prefer that. And then this this is cool, but obviously it's a bit more mysterious. Fun. It's a bit more fun. It's more of a complimentary image. If it was a spread, a photo spread in a book, you could have this and this or something like that. But what are we getting? What's the chat think? Felicity Johnson says nice lighting on the first one.
Yeah, and Den likes the first one too.
Den's first one for sure. Yeah, I agree. I think it's unanimous. That is the one. That was image number 0, I think, of the ones you sent through. Yep. Phil Thompson agrees. First one. Okay. Scores are in. Very cool. Who's next?
We've got David Skinner. Let me read.
Okay.
Last week, you were pleading for some help, some advice on your street shots. I know how you feel. Weddings, yep, in the bag. Street, my mind is all over the shop. It is the opposite for me. One in particular was the fisherman. You saw him and you saw he was interesting, a subject for my street shot. Greg will get what I'm about to say as a street photographer. In every instance of surveying a scene, when you spot something that has caught your attention, that subject is seen two ways, what your mind sees and what the camera sees. Both are completely different in reality. Mika Boynton, Mika, rhymes with sneaker, explained this beautifully in a talk she gave some years ago, but it is still relevant and I work on its premise all the time, in all genres that I enjoy. You spot a beautiful butterfly in your garden. Your mind sees this, a beautiful butterfly in perfect focus, composed, how you want, depth of field just right with an unobtrusive background. You take the shot, all excited. Wow, look at the back of the camera and you see what the camera saw, a bloody mess. There is a butterfly somewhere hiding in the shadows, so back to your fisherman, somewhere down the wharf. I'm a bit lost there. Is there
He's talking about my image from last week.
Sorry,
when I was cruising around Docklands and just trying to figure out which of the images said anything or that kind of thing.
Okay. The learning curve is using light and composition to isolate your fisherman. He's not going anywhere for a while. Take your time, move about. You want the camera to be under your control to see what you see in camera and post later. Now bring up my image. It's not award-winning.
Where are we?
Anytime you're ready, Justin. Just that's it. It's not award-winning, but I like it and the end result. More or less what I saw. It's a broader scene like your wharf. However, I've seen people walking every few minutes. I found the ideal placement, framing, and the white spray behind backlit, and just wait. A long lens was required, and that is what I had. I was a long way away, and I was at maximum reach of 300. I knew cropping to vertical was in my mind. Several shots to choose the best gate and separation. It is a learning curve with practice, practice, practice. Learn to see images. Use the exposure triangle to best advantage. Work out your focus in advance. I'm sure you know what I mean. Apply your experience in wedding photography to the street. The basics are the same. I hope this helps. This ramble is basically for your benefit, Justin. I hope it helps. However, a shorter version might help on the night. Oh, now you tell me.
Well, I read that and then I was like, I can't summarize this into a shorter version. So he's included basically the scene shot pre-cropped and possibly, I don't even know if it is the same shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so pre-cropped and I guess it's to illustrate that work the scene and use the tools that you've got available to either whether you're trying to accentuate or isolate or bring the story out of a subject rather than just using what's presented in front of, like just taking the photo that's presented in front of you and moving on. Like look at it and think, okay, I can see that looks cool. Now, how do I make my camera see what I'm seeing in my mind? Yeah. And I get that. It makes total sense. And maybe I wasn't in the right mindset to do that when I was in Melbourne, or it's definitely not something that I gravitate towards when I'm on the street. I kind of like to see something unfold and capture it and keep moving usually rather than working a scene. It's just not. Yeah, it's the opposite to what I do at a wedding, where I'll work every angle of what's happening.
Yeah.
Don't know. It's just different. But it makes total sense what you're saying. Yeah.
It's different pressure too.
Yes. You're not being asked to photograph there.
No.
Yeah,
and you're not being asked to, can you do this? Oh, and then my mum wants a photo. Oh, and then my uncle wants a photo. Like you're just there seeing the scene, you know.
Yeah. Felicity Johnson says, amazing result from that initial shot. Well seen. Yeah, it's definitely transforms. It's a good lesson on how you can transform an image just between those two shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Lisa Lee wants to know if it's in Benalla. Don't know, but she loves it. So, all right. Oh, nice big one for me to read out. Here we go.
Yeah, well played.
Nev Clark. Yeah, I don't know how this worked out. Look at this. Oh, Nev, that's beautiful. Nev, this I think his title on the email said "Love for the Leica," so I'm guessing this was shot with the Q3. Albany Reflections, ISO 200 f10, 125th of a second, handheld. That is a beautiful shot.
Yeah.
Really nice frame.
The colors.
Q3 is a good camera. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Yeah. So it doesn't do it justice vertical in this small format.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing, Nev. Well done.
You're just getting better and better, Nev.
It is.
These landscapes. And now that you've got a Q3, you're unstoppable.
Yeah. Paul Carpenter's next.
Where is Paul? Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Yep. This image was taken during a bit of experimental night street photography in Melbourne last month, very much inspired by Greg's blog posts. The evening started with very little success, but I stuck with it and eventually came up with an idea which I could develop further. I found that exposures of around a second were pretty effective in capturing the passing trams once I had framed the base image, which in this case is the town hall. In this particular image, the yellow lights lined up fairly well with the building and produced a cool strobing effect with hundreds of dots rather than just blurry lines. That looks amazing. I used the RF 35 to 1.8, which is pretty good image stabilization when paired with the R5.
Yeah, I like that 35 mm RF lens. It does have good stabilization, good macro. That's what I used for the Lego Man shot.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I love this.
Yeah,
it's cool.
I really like this. It's especially, I don't know, it's vibrant.
Yeah.
I know what that night feels like. Like you've seen that and you know how it feels. That's what.
Yeah.
Based on the photo, do you think it was warm or chilly?
Oh, that's hard to tell because the photo makes me feel like it's warm, but
same. I don't know why, but it made me feel like it was a summery, warm night.
Yeah.
Not hot, but warm.
Yeah.
Awesome work. Okay. David Mascaro has a little series. Are they in order? I don't know. We'll never know. David says, okay, I'm sending a mini series from my road trip with my buddy Jerry. He's the first photo with a white beard. Okay, they're in order. Because that's a white beard. These aren't the greatest portraits of people I've taken, but this was more about the stories of people I met around the country. 2 guys from Arkansas who changed a flat we got off the highway. A hard-ass Vietnam veteran who I met having breakfast at Denny's at 4 a.m. Preacher who I told you about last week who died of COVID 4 or 5 months after taking his photo. Then the craziest story I've ever heard. Where are we? This couple knew each other since 8th grade. He lied about his age to join the army. He wanted to go to Vietnam. They stopped talking and she actually said she hated him for years. He did 3 tours in Vietnam and he said he survived multiple firefights. Years after Vietnam, they crossed paths again and things smoothed over and they dated, then married. She also worked for the government and was in Iraq and Afghanistan. So much more to these stories, but I'll leave it at that. Have a great show, guys.
That's very cool.
Wow, I love the idea of taking photos of the people you meet while you're traveling, and this style of like these portraits, like nothing fancy, just like, hey, stand in front of your truck. I just want to get a photo to remember this time when I had to get my tire fixed. I love that idea.
Yeah.
Gosh, I wish I'd done that my whole life. I'd have so many more memories.
Yeah. Amazing photos. I love it.
Yeah, great series. Great little series. And that's a good example of if you want to send a series of photos in, do that.
Yeah.
Totally fine. Never mind. Greg Carrick's up next. He actually Greg Carrick actually sent a news article in this week as well. Did he send that to you or just me?
No. I didn't get it.
We'll end the show with it.
All right. Greg Carrick, I squeezed myself into an ever-decreasing cave near London Bridge, Portsea, trying not to smack my head on the rock ceiling and fall over the rocky floor, while attempting to move around like a crab to avoid the waves coming in. This was shot with a Fujifilm X-T2 with the Samyang 12mm on a tripod, 1 second shutter, 5.6 aperture, and ISO 50. I'm getting too old for this sort of thing.
No, never. This says the guy that does no light photography on the cliffs at the ocean. Says he's getting too old for this stuff.
Yeah, nah.
It's just like, I just photograph towards the sound of the waves on the top of a cliff when I can't see anything. Oh, dear.
Yeah.
If you want to hear about no light photography, you can go back to our interview with Craig Carrick.
Yeah.
You'll find it. All right. Who have we got next? We have got Lisa Leach. Lisa says, hi, Justin and Greg. Please see a quick edit to share with the podcast crew from my recent trip to New Zealand South Island with Brett Wood photos last week.
Mm-hmm.
This is Tasman Lake on a rather crisp but beautiful morning. We walked and clambered down to the lake in the darkness and had no idea what the sunrise would reveal. Feeling quite blessed by the early dusting of snow, this had to be my favorite location for the week. Truly magical. Many thanks as always, Lisa.
Thanks, Lisa.
That is magical.
Yeah.
Yep. That makes me feel what it's like on a cold morning in New Zealand, in that part of New Zealand, South Island. That's exactly what it feels like.
Yeah.
Grey, harsh, but beautiful. The water looks freezing.
It does.
Yep. Yeah, listen, exactly. It feels cold. That photo feels cold. That's exactly it. Just like you just want to put more clothes on just looking at the photo.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Very
Must
cool.
Have been awesome. Must have been an awesome trip.
Yeah, with Brett and Lisa Milne, Brett's partner, who's always there. And I've actually reached out to Lisa and asked if she'll come along as a guest on the podcast sometime soon. Because not only is she an amazing landscape photographer, but she's also got a history as a working photographer too. Awesome. So, trying to get her on the show, have a chat, get all the dirt on Brett. Be fun.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right.
Who's next?
Dennis.
Lucky last.
Well, and then you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. You want to read out, Den?
Dennis Smith, sorry for the lateness. Slip to next week if that's easy. No, it's not. We're going to do it now. This is the Linderhof Palace in Bavaria.
Fancy.
I tried to find the Roar to show just how close this is to the Roar, but I think it's on that dead raid over there in the corner. It was shot in the middle of the night. Hard to believe, but the light.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Wow. So was it 300 seconds?
So, 5D Mark II, 300 seconds, f2.8, ISO 160 with a 50mm f1.8 plastic fantastic.
Plastic fantastic.
Yeah,
now,
that was my first Canon lens.
I never thought I would say this, but let's zoom in on Dennis's balls. No, that's not it.
I've been waiting for you to say that.
The wrong
It was
way.
only a matter of time.
Can we zoom in on the balls? There it is. Look at those things.
And he's put in the comments here, he said, spin one orb, then jump down, climb up the other pole, and do the second one.
Oh, you would have. That's funny. So
that's amazing.
I could just imagine him just standing there spinning and then run over here, spinning.
Yep.
David Skinner says, I love Dennis's balls.
Yeah, we all do.
We all love them. Yeah, what a location.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Epic.
Not the color I expected his balls to be, but we're all built differently.
All right. And lucky, hang on. Felicity says, if they are Dennis's balls, what is that small spiky thing in the middle?
Nice. Oh, Felicity.
Oh, that's funny. Yep, great photo.
Yeah, I love it.
Amazing. Dennis
I love
says,
how
thank
Dennis
you.
can turn.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, Dennis says, thank you. Wild story about this trip. Long form YouTube video coming. Awesome.
Cool.
What about your photos? Which one?
Yeah.
We can look at them all.
Yeah,
Is there
we can
one?
scoot through them.
Have you got a preference of like a favorite?
No, I want you to show them all.
Okay. I like this one.
This one's a good one. So this is Justin's original Fujifilm X100. I've just finished writing and shooting for a review for the Lucky Straps website. I know it's not a new camera, but Justin lent it to me when I was out in Bendigo week before, and we decided that I should do a review. Well, easy for him to decide that. He doesn't have to write it. But so I did a review on what it was like to go back to the classic. I've shot with every generation of the Fujifilm X100, starting with this. This was the camera that got me into Fujifilm. So it was an absolute blast from the past to pick it up again and get out. And it just brought all those memories back. And so I've written about that experience. So you'll see that on the Lucky Straps website soon. Next.
Can't wait.
So this is an edited version. I sent through to, did I send it to you, the RAW, straight out of camera?
I don't think so.
I don't know who I sent it to. Anyway, this is on Chapel Street one night. This is handheld at 1/4 of a second. And the green kind of blur that's coming through was actually like an Uber rider with their high vis and their big green backpack on. And yeah, I was just playing around with some slow shutter, which I rarely do. And I was pushing the XE5 to its limit, to the limit of me being able to hold it, get a nice sharp background, nice sharp central subject, while allowing motion blur to, do the rest. So I was pretty happy with it. I thought it was worth showing.
Very cool.
Yeah. Next. This is at Revolver upstairs, which is a nightclub in Paran on Chapel Street. I've never been up in there. I've never gone up into Revolver. I've been in the ground floor and some of the sub areas, but amazing space, like just bananas, bohemian kind of space. And this was for Nathan Coote's one night only exhibition with, I think he said there was like 18 photographers in total. Each submitted one image. And this was the exhibition night, and he organized this event. He created this space, and his folks were there, and some of his friends, and so yeah, I took a few shots. I've sent these through to him since.
Nice.
But that was pretty cool to hang out and check out his exhibition. Next. This is a shot that I took of the stairway from the first floor down to Chapel Street. But I just love how much was going on. And this particular shot, I decided to go in black and white just to work with tone.
Yeah, I like this. This is the shot, I think. I haven't seen the next one yet, but I think I like that one. Yeah. Very cool.
And this one I called Fishbowl. The restaurant is called Fishbowl as well. Just a really quiet, still moment. Greville Street in Paran. Sash and I were out there on Friday night after we went and saw Nathan's exhibition together, and we went and found somewhere to have some dinner. And yeah, we just strolled around the area. I was just taking photos. These were all shot with the XE5 and my new 23 1.4. Just loving the system. And that's me and Nathan. That's his image between our heads.
I think that's the photo. If you
I'm pretty happy with that.
I really like that.
Yeah.
Felicity loves the stairs. Dennis says, mate, those stairs are sick.
Thanks,
I could
Dan.
see one of your balls at the bottom of those stairs, Dennis. I think.
Yeah.
Look,
maybe one at the bottom, one at the top. If you could
two balls.
Wrangle that.
Make him run up the stairs halfway through
an
exposure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
But
nice.
interestingly, I showed this to someone else and they said, oh, look at that. It's going into the basement at the bottom. And it's like, no, it's not a basement. That's actually the street level. So it's kind of made it feel like it's going kind of, it's becoming subterranean.
It feels to me like it's going down. Looks like a New York, something heading down.
Underground. But,
when you don't have the perspective, I guess, of that area and what it is. But it feels like it's going down into a basement.
Yeah. So that's me.
Awesome. All right. Well, once again, didn't have much of an agenda, and now it's been an hour longer than the show was planned to go. So,
what a shame.
We should probably wrap it up.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah.
On that note, thank you to everyone who has sent in their images for the Your Images section tonight. Just a reminder that you too can send in your images to justin@luckystraps.com.au. We're trying to limit the amount of images because it was starting to get a bit carried away. But a single image and maybe a behind the scene as your second, or if you're doing a small photo essay, you can obviously send that through. Send it through with a story about your image, maybe some camera settings. We'll leave that bit up to you, but let us know a little bit of context around what's happening and why you've chosen this image. More importantly, what was that experience like for you? And if you're looking for a camera strap, we know some people. Head to luckystraps.com and you can have your pick of some of the world's finest handmade premium leather camera straps. We make them in Bendigo, Victoria. And if you use code Greg, you can get a discount at the checkout.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And
that's all I've got the energy for.
That's all we need to do. We're going to see the show out with some comments and also this special news article sent in to us by Greg Carrick. This news article was Fujifilm announced a new disposable digital camera, the Fujifilm EXX. And he says, hard on the heels of the latest wacky release, the X-Half, comes another half-baked product, the Fujifilm EXX disposable digital camera. I won't read the rest of it out. Anyway, Greg Carrick was having a little bit of fun, obviously, with Photoshop. He's joining in on the rumour sites, and he's done a good job there. I'll be waiting the release of the disposable digital camera from Fujifilm.
The disposable GFX.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Yeah, Dennis is all right, Mr. I want a new job. Fujifilm spokesperson. Anyway, bye for listening. Good night, Rick Nelson. Stuart Lyle, good to see you. He says, have a great night, everyone. Phil Thompson's, thank you both, Greg and Justin. Look forward to Thursday morning. Oh, it's going to be awesome. I'm going to end up spending a lot of money with Imaging by Design. Yeah. David Leparati, thanks all. Another great episode and a good night. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Paul and, I don't know, all of you that were here. Lisa Leach and who else? David Skinner. The music's ended, but we're still here. Nev, everybody, good night, and we'll see you on Thursday.
Be safe, everyone.